In this video, I'm sharing with you my fingerstyle arrangement of You Don't Know Me. So let's begin with a demo and then we'll move into our lesson. If you're enjoying this arrangement, please show my channel some love by giving this video a thumbs up. Now, if you're returning to my channel, then welcome back. And if you're new here, then welcome. I'm Lara. I'm a musician and a composer, and I love to teach fingerstyle arrangements and song tutorials for all levels. If you'd like to support my teaching and my channel by joining my Patreon community, you'll gain access to hundreds of PDF downloads, including fingerstyle tabs, song sheets, and song books. The link is down below in the video description. If you're not yet familiar with reading tablature, then see this video link above, where I'll help you to get started reading tabs. This arrangement is for low G tuning, and next in our tutorial, we'll walk through the first 4 lines, step by step, to get you started. We begin measure 1 with our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Then we'll go to the open 2nd string, and in measure 2, keeping our middle finger in place, we'll play an arpeggio or a broken chord through strings 4, 3, and 2, picking string 2 the loudest as this is our melody note. And then we'll go back to the 3rd string 2 more times. Now in the middle of measure 2, we have a G major 7 chord. So we're going to add our ring finger and pinky to the second fret of strings 2 and 1, and we'll play an arpeggio through all 4 strings. Then we go to the open 4th string, then the 4th fret of the 4th string, and here you can use your ring finger or your pinky, whichever is more comfortable. And then we're going to go to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string to end measure 2. Now here I like to use my middle finger so that it's in place for the G7 chord that comes in the middle of measure 3. So we begin measure 3 with the open 2nd string, then we'll pick the 3rd string twice, and now we're going to form our G7 chord, placing down our index finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string and ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. Here we'll play an arpeggio through all 4 strings, and then we'll place down our pinky on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and we'll finish measure 3 with the open 1st string. So here are measures 1, 2, and 3 at a slow tempo. We begin measure 4 on a C chord, and the open 1st string is our melody note. So here we have an arpeggio through all 4 open strings. Then we'll use our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Then we go to the open 4th string. And now we're going to lift up our ring finger, placing down our pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, picking strings 1, 2, and 3 together. And then we'll pick the open strings 4, 3, and 2 to finish measure 4. In measure 5, we'll place our index finger down on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, playing an arpeggio through all 4 strings. And now we're going to use our pinky on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And then we'll lift up our pinky, keeping our index finger in place, and placing down our middle finger on the 1st fret of the 1st string. Here we'll pick all 4 strings. And now for the 3rd fret of the 2nd string that comes next, I like to use my pinky and then my ring finger on the 2nd fret, and then we finish with the open 2nd string. Now in measure 6, we're going to place our middle finger down on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. We'll pick strings 2, 3, and 4 together, then just the 3rd string twice, and now we're going to form an E7 chord, adding our index finger to the 1st fret of the 4th string and our ring finger to the 2nd fret of the 1st string. Then we'll go to the 4th fret of the 4th string, and here once again you can use either your ring finger or your pinky, and then we'll go to the open 2nd string, and then we'll end measure 6 on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Now here are measures 4, 5, and 6 at a slow tempo. In measure 7, we'll keep our middle finger in place, and we'll add our index finger to the 2nd fret of the 4th string, picking strings 3 and 4 together. Then we'll lift up our middle finger to pick the open 3rd string twice. And now we're going to form a D7 chord, covering the 2nd fret of strings 4, 3, and 2 with our index, middle, and ring fingers, and the 3rd fret of the 1st string using our pinky. Then we'll pick the 3rd string 3 times. And in measure 8, we're going to open up the 4th string, picking strings 3 and 4 together. Then we go to the 4th fret of the 4th string, and here you can use your pinky or your ring finger. Then we have the open 4th string. And now we form a G chord. Here we have our index and middle fingers on the 2nd fret of strings 3 and 1, and our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. We'll pick all 4 strings together. Then we'll pick strings 4, 3, and 2. In measure 9, we go to an A minor chord, covering the 2nd fret of the 4th string with our index finger. Then we'll pick the open 1st string, and now we go to the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Here I like to use my pinky so that my ring finger is free for the D7 chord that comes next. So we're going to place down our ring finger and index finger on the 2nd fret of strings 2 and 4, picking strings 2, 3, and 4 together. And then we go to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, placing down our middle finger, and we end measure 9 with the open 2nd string. So here are measures 7, 8, and 9 at a slow tempo. Repeat bars, so we'll go back to measure 2 and repeat measures 2 through 6, and then we go to our 2nd ending in measure 10. Now the beginning of measure 10 is the same as measure 7. After our D7 chord, we're going to pick the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, and then we'll place down our pinky on the 3rd fret, and we end measure 10 with the open 1st string. Moving into measure 11, we're going to form a partial G chord, covering the 3rd fret of the 2nd string and 2nd fret of the 3rd string using our ring finger and index finger. We'll play an arpeggio through all 4 strings, then we'll pick the 2nd string, open 4th string, 3rd string, and now we're going to open up all the strings, picking strings 2, 3, and 4, then the open 4th string, 3rd string, and 3rd fret of the 1st string. Here I like to use my pinky so that my other fingers are free for the G chord that comes next in measure 12. Here we're going to pick strings 1, 2, and 3, then the open 4th string, then strings 1, 2, and 3 again, and now we'll form a G7 chord, playing an arpeggio through all 4 strings, then just the 4th string, then strings 2 and 3, and then we end measure 12 with the open 4th string. So let's look at measures 10 through 12 at a slow tempo. For more of my easy fingerstyle arrangements and tutorials, see this playlist here. Have fun learning You Don't Know Me, and thanks for watching.